Okay, NXT TakeOver Portland. Pretty much our only February wrestling pay-per-view. No, I'm not doing the Saudi show. If you're new to the channel, I'll just tell you this right now. I did the first two Saudi shows. They were horrendous. I said I'm never reviewing those again. So, yeah, I don't care if anything really huge happens. I'm not watching it. Anyway, overall, the show was really, I'll say this right off the bat, the show was really good. It was really enjoyable. I do have some minor nitpicks, as there were two matches for this show that were not on it. They were announced for this show. They were announced, days ago for this show. We did not get Roderick Strong versus Velveteen Dream. That has been pushed back to Wednesday. And we did not get the Cruiserweight Championship match that they advertised as well. It wasn't even on the kickoff show. They just did a half-an-hour kickoff. Like I said, if there was an injury or something, but as far as I've been able to piece together, there weren't any injuries. And like I said, the Roderick Strong Velveteen Dream match is, on Wednesday. So, why did you announce it for the show then if you're going to put it on Wednesday? And the Cruiserweight Champion, it was kind of slapped together at the last minute anyway, but still, you announced it for the show. And I know card is subject to change, but again, you announced it days before the show, and then it wasn't. I'm not entirely sure what was going on there. Anyway, starting things off, we have the NXT North American Championship match, Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic. Right off the bat, Lee hit a big pop-up head scissors. He locked on, basically, he started to do sort of a wrist ringer of some type, or maybe an arm bar, and then he lifted Dijakovic up in the kind of a military press while still maintaining the hold. Dijakovic came back, he had a cyclone kick, he had a back elbow, and then followed that with a suplex into the ring apron. Well, it looked like he was trying to suplex him. It didn't quite hit as well as he thought it did. Lee came back and hit a backbreaker into a German suplex. Dijakovic hits the cyclone kick and then a reverse Phoenix splash. He came back and hit his finisher, which I believe is called the Feast for Your Eyes. It's a Death Valley driver from the second rope. The two brawled to the outside of the ring. Lee knocked Dijakovic into a chair, and he then hit two big chops onto the chair. Dijakovic fought out of the chair, tossed Lee into the chair, and he hit a cyclone kick, which sent Lee into the chair. And then he hit a swanton to the outside of the ring while Lee was still sitting in the announcer's chair. Dijakovic pushed Lee off the top turnbuckle. Lee came back, he hit two spirit bombs. Lee eventually fought out the torture rack and hit a big bang catastrophe for the 3 count and the victory. And right off the match, we did start with a real banger. This was, again, these two guys, they go so out, you keep thinking, how can they top themselves? And they just keep doing it. It was amazing. And afterwards, they shook hands and embraced, and Lee even boosted Dijakovic up onto his shoulders so he could better salute the crowd because he was struggling to climb the turnbuckle. So, again, a good sign of respect. Again, maybe we'll get one more at the next TakeOver, which is before Mania. Okay, our next match is the street fight between Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox. During the entrances, Tegan Nox came out first, but Kai immediately jumped her in the entryway. And they fought through into the crowd. Nox speared Kai through the ring barricade, tried to hit another maneuver, but Kai countered that into a DDT off of the ring barricade. Kai threw Nox into the ring steps and then followed with a bicycle kick. Nox came back, hit a crossbody from the ring steps. Kai drilled Nox with a trash can lid. The weapons did come into play. At one point, Dakota Kai got some type of wooden object. It looked like maybe a baseball bat, and swung it and hit the ring post and it broke. Kai hit an inverted backstabber. Knox hit a flipping senton onto, it was the Molly go round, the Molly Holly's old finisher from the top rope into the ring. Dakota Kai, they fought to the outside. Dakota Kai managed to get some duct tape and duct taped Knox to the ring post. She hit 2 kicks. The second one actually broke the duct tape. So I guess it's not as indestructible as you think. Knox rallied back, hit a bunch of big moves. She hit a Shining Wizard, but did not go for a pin. Instead, she put a chair around Kai's throat, set Dakota Kai on a table, and she was going to do some type of, I'm guessing it was a stomp onto the chair through the table. But then Raquel Gonzalez, who's been in the Mae Young Classic, she's been at the Performance Center for a while, came out and attacked Knox and hit a double choke slam through the table after pulling Dakota Kai off of it, and Dakota Kai covered for the 3 count of victory. Afterwards, Gonzalez came out, shook Kai's hand and lifted up her arm, and Kai looked incredibly uneasy, probably because she was in a lot of pain, or at least selling the idea that she was in a lot of pain. But yes, that's appears to be a new alliance among the women's division in NXT. I don't know. Overall, I would say this is an alright match. There were definitely a few slow spots because it was taking a while to set some things up. But they did do a good job of telling the story. Like, there were times where you could see, because the two had been friends, that Tegan Knox was fighting the urge not to, really hurt Dakota Kai, but would follow through and hit all these moves. Like I said, she hit the Shiniest Wizard. It's then that she said, at one point she looked, again, it looked like she was hesitating, but then she said, "You made me do this to you." And did the chair thing. So yeah, overall, not a terrible match ending. I think, like I said, there's just a little dead spots in it, but overall it was really good too. Okay, our next match is Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. One of the more interesting things to note is Johnny Gargano in his comics-inspired tights came out again, and he was wearing Carnage-inspired tights, which is, of course, funny because, excuse me, sorry. Like I said, it's funny that he was wearing Carnage tights because when Finn Balor is in his demon persona, or when he was in his demon persona, I guess he's not going to be in it anymore. At least not as a heel. Not as a heel. But when he's in the demon persona, he's that look is inspired by Venom. So, and that might pay off later on. I guess I'll get to that. But anyway, right off the bat, Gargano fought off a waist lock and hit a Listo kick. Gargano speared Balor on the outside, on the ring apron, and injured his arm in the process. Balor hit a sling blade on the outside of the ring. Gargano hit an armbar DDT. Gargano put Balor into the rings of Saturn. Balor hit a rope-assisted dragon screw leg whip. Balor blocked another Listo kick attempt and put on an inverted figure 4. He definitely targeted Gargano's knee at this point. Gargano came back in a neck breaker. He went after Balor's arm at that point, which not only sets him up for the Gargano escape, but also was supposed to hinder the 1916 Brainbuster. And Gargano hit a slingshot spear. Gargano lawn darted Balor into the turnbuckle, and then Gargano dodged the coup de grace attempt to hit a slingshot DDT. Balor hit a sling blade in his coffin drop kick, but Gargano fought out of it and locked on the Gargano escape. It dodged the coup de grace and locked on the Gargano escape. They fought to the outside. Gargano set something up on the ring table. He hit a coffin drop kick of his own, sending Balor into the barricade. Balor came back though and hit the coffin drop kick off of the announce table, sending Gargano into the ring barricade. And Balor then hit another coffin drop kick, coup de grace, and then the 1916 for the 3 count and the victory. Overall, it is a pretty good match. Afterwards, Balor beat up on Gargano more and said something to him, and then left up the ramp again. Like I said, it's a good match. I know I'm beating a dead horse, and I will continue to beat this, unfortunately. Finn Balor shouldn't be in NXT. I think this is a downgrade. Yes, the matches have been good. I'm not saying they haven't been, but he shouldn't be in NXT. This is a downgrade, and I fear what they're trying to do here. And now, especially given what happened at the end of the show, which I will get to when I get to the end of the show. But yeah, I just, like I said, it was a good match. I'm not taking anything away, but again, it's gonna gnaw at me until it's over. Okay, our next match is the NXT Women's Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, and yeah, it's the Women's Championship again. Like, I guess they decided to put the descriptor back in. I don't even know anymore. I'm sorry. Like, I was finally getting used to just calling it the Rhea Ripley NXT Champion, but nope. They decided to go back. Early on, Belair dodged a clothesline and hit a takedown. Ripley came back and hit several big chops. Belair hit a standing moonsault and followed with a suplex. Ripley hit a snapmare and then a dropkick combination. Belair came back. She hit the AA Arn Anderson spinebuster. Belair placed Ripley on the top turnbuckle and whipped her with her hair. I think it's the first time I've seen that in a long time. Belair speared Ripley at one point. Belair hit a top rope maneuver. I can't remember which one. She then came back and speared Ripley, and Ripley was selling like maybe a pulled hamstring or something. They fought to the outside, and Belair flipped Ripley out of the ring on a back body drop. She followed that up with a plancha. Ripley slammed Belair off the ring steps. They got back into the ring. They hit a few more maneuvers. Belair went for a handspring into a splash, but Ripley got the knees up. They fought into the corner. Belair tried to go for a sunset bomb, but Ripley fought out of that, got the pump handle hit, the riptide from the second rope for the 3 count and the victory. Ripley did not have much time to celebrate as Charlotte emerged from the crowd and jumped her and attacked and basically said, "I've decided to accept your challenge for WrestleMania." She then hit the natural selection on Ripley, and then on her way out, she attacked Bianca Belair. So, yeah, I guess it is intriguing. Again, I'm going to kind of reiterate the same thing with Finn Balor. If Ripley or Belair wins, because I do think they might do the triple threat. It looks like that now because they are sort of building it. Like they did play Bianca Belair quite a bit into the initial part of this feud, so I would not be entirely surprised if this does get turned into a triple threat, which I would be fine with as long as, again, either Ripley or Belair win. Even though, yeah, again, it doesn't make much sense to have Charlotte win the Royal Rumble and then not win the championship, but it wouldn't be the first time Asuka won and didn't win the championship, so I mean, that wouldn't... and again, I think Charlotte could take the loss at this point. She's pretty well established, so again, kind of mixed feelings, but I'm at least intrigued enough to see where they go with this, and I can at least see this through to the end. And, you know what, let's just go on to our next match, which is the Tag Team Championship match, the Undisputed Era of Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly against the Broserweights of Matt Riddle, Bro, and Pete Dunne. And Riddle came out with the microphone. They came out on the Brosermobile, which somehow made its way from Full Sail all the way to Portland. They smuggled it on Triple H's private jet. Riddle was on the microphone, and he started the whole "How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish" chant. That led to a brawl on the entryway. Riddle got into the ring with O'Reilly, hit a bunch of waistlock takedowns and rolling gut wrenches. Pete Dunne tagged in. He targeted O'Reilly's fingers. Dunne suplexed O'Reilly onto Fish. At one point, Dunne went for a moonsault, but Bobby Fish broke that up and got the tag to get back in. Riddle got the hot tag and hit a belly-to-back suplex. The Broserweights hit 2 double team moves on O'Reilly and Fish. At one point, Pete Dunne had was an ankle lock on Kyle O'Reilly, but O'Reilly managed to get the tag to Bobby Fish, who broke it up. And they isolated Dunne for a while, but eventually they fought back. O'Reilly and Dunne both had ankle locks on their opponents. O'Reilly and Riddle hit multiple strikes on each other. Really, Kyle O'Reilly was kind of the star of this match. I don't remember Bobby Fish doing too much in it. I guess he did a little bit. At one point, he had a sleeper hold on Riddle, and O'Reilly had Dunne in a Scorpion Deathlock, but Riddle managed to hit a jumping knee onto O'Reilly to break it up, and he fell back onto Fish. The Undisputed Era hit a double team finisher, but only got a 2 count. At this point, they had instances where Dunn inadvertently struck O'Reilly, or not O'Reilly, Riddle, and then Riddle came in and inadvertently speared Dunn, and that enabled the Undisputed Era to hit their finisher, Chasing the Dragon. But they only got a 2 count on it. Dunn kicked out. Matt Riddle tagged in. He and Dunn hit a final flash kicks. Or a Final Flash Insecurity combo, sorry, and both Fish and O'Reilly covered O'Reilly for the 3 count and the victory. So your new tag team champions are the Broserweights. Definitely, I mean, this is all right. I'm actually okay with this because, again, the Undisputed Era have been tag team champions for 4 different times now. And again, like, could we maybe find someone else? Please. I mean, could you bring over the Grizzled Young Veterans or Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster from the UK, or even Imperium or Gallus or something? I mean, it would probably help just a little bit because the NXT tag team division is just... they got completely decimated last year. I mean, remember last year around this time, the Viking Warriors had won the tag team championship. You had the Street Profits. You saw the Undisputed Era. You had the Forgotten Sons. You had... I think that was about it. And again, that you had NXT UK, and at least that it was a lot stronger. Now, I mean, I don't even think the Forgotten Sons are around anymore. I mean, Riddick Moss is up on the main brand, being Mojo Rawley's bodyguard, and yeah, they won the 24/7 championship. So again, like, I don't know what the tag team division is. I don't exactly, like, it's pretty bare bones at the moment. Like, they need to really build that back up. So again, maybe getting some new champions will kind of help inject some lifeblood into it. So yeah, we then got a promo. We have 2 new takeovers coming in April. Obviously, there's TakeOver Tampa, which is right before WrestleMania, and then there's going to be another TakeOver UK on April 26th. And I'll get to the next wrestling review when I cover that part. And that leads us into our main event, the NXT Championship match between Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole, baby. And Ciampa, right off the bat, was basically stalking Cole during the whole opening routine. Like, he basically stood right behind him as he was doing the boom and the Adam Cole, baby bit. And then right off the bat, Ciampa threw Cole out of the ring. He tried to go for his Hangman DDT. Ciampa blocked an attempted backstabber through the ropes. They fought on the outside. He hit 3 jumping knee strikes onto a chair. Ciampa draped Cole on the ring apron and hit a running knee there. Cole came back. He hit a wheelbarrow suplex onto the announce table, and Ciampa's surgically repaired neck struck the table. Ciampa countered a Panama Sunrise with a drop kick. Ciampa came back, hit a torch rack bomb. Cole came back, hit a jumping Shining Wizard, and followed that with a Ushigoroshi. Ciampa hit an air raid crash from the second rope. Ciampa powerbombed Cole through the announce table. Ciampa hit the jackknife backstabber. Ciampa countered a suicide dive with a jumping knee. Cole hit the last shot, but Ciampa rolled into the ropes. Ciampa hit a air raid crash on the ring apron. Cole came back and hit a Panama Sunrise off the announce table. Ciampa hit his Hangman DDT at the fairy tale ending, but only got a 2 count. Cole locked on the Gargano escape, but Ciampa fought out of that and locked on one of his own. As this happened, Roderick Strong came down to the ring, distracted the ref, and that enabled Fish and O'Reilly to jump Cole. Or not jump Cole. They jumped Ciampa. And they beat him up, and Cole hit a last shot, but only got a 2 count. Cole then shoved Ciampa into the ref, which knocked the ref out. He fought off everyone again. In the process, he knocked Strong, and he took everyone out. They got in the ring, hit the fairy tale ending. They didn't get the 3 count. At one point, Cole, in that process, Cole had grabbed the championship belt and he tried to use it on Ciampa, but to no avail. And it was then that Johnny Gargano came down to the ring, and he started kind of cheering Ciampa on. He saw Ciampa start to go for the championship, which was laying in the ring, and Gargano reached out and he pulled it, and Ciampa was looking at like, what's going on? What are you doing? And he decked Ciampa with it. So Johnny Gargano has turned heel. That enabled Cole to cover for the 3 count and the victory. Like I said, really good match, really good storytelling and all of this. Really top level bits. Again, there were several points where it did look like Ciampa might regain Goldie and win it back. So yeah, definitely really amazing job these two guys did. Definitely got a little cluttered at the end. I get what they're trying to do with Johnny Gargano, but again, like now we're inverting the story where now Ciampa's going to be the good guy and Gargano's going to be the bad guy and the backstabber and the monster. But, you know, the fact that I guess it was appropriate that Johnny Gargano came down in the Carnage tights because now he's the poor man's Finn Balor. Because he's doing the exact same shtick Finn Balor was doing during their feud. If Finn Balor weren't in NXT at this point, I would be a little more receptive to this. But now it's just like now you're just reheating the same thing we just had. I don't know exactly what they're going to do with Cole. Personally, Velveteen Dream is returning, so maybe we get Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole at TakeOver Tampa, or maybe, I would not be opposed to seeing a Walter Cole match, champion versus champion. I think that would be really interesting. But I guess we'll see as time goes on. Like I said, what I really fear though is, again, I'm really afraid they're going to do Cole versus Balor, and I don't want that. I really don't want that because, again, Balor should be on the main roster. We should be using NXT as the proving ground, and I don't want this to become the championship that gets defended on the kickoff show all the time. And it looks like it might be heading that way, unfortunately. Overall, even though, like I said, they did take two matches off the card, I am going to give this an A. It was really top-notch. Like I said, I really couldn't complain about any of the matches. About the only one I could maybe have any gripes with was the women's match. I felt was a little short. And I thought the tag match was a little long, so I guess it filled out. And again, they did take off the 2 matches, but yeah, that probably is a little too nitpicky. Still, like I said, overly enjoyable. I am giving it an A. Okay, so next video is going to be the Call of the Wild movie review. After that will be the random trade review on Hellboy, the Chain Coffin, and others. And next wrestling, like I said, is probably going to be Elimination Chamber, which is on March 8th. I would like to do AEW Revolution. Unfortunately, right now, it's like I don't think the finances are going to bear out. Unless that show is somehow cheaper on Fight TV than it is on Bleacher Report, because it's $50 on Bleacher Report. So maybe if it's cheaper on Fight TV, I can get a quick cover of it, but maybe not. I would like to do a special something in March. Again, just because of how we're kind of in this weird zone where a lot's happening. I'll just say this. It would be a New Japan show. I believe New Japan, is it Dominion that's in March? It's one of the shows. They have a big show in March that will probably be, I would like to do, as long as it's not the same weekend as Elimination Chamber, it would be good to do. And I am also aware of the news that reportedly Fox and Amazon are bidding over WrestleMania, that might be going strictly pay-per-view again. At which point I would probably not be covering it. If I'm gonna I'm already shelling out $10 a month for WWE Network. Why do I shell out $10 a month and then an additional $70 for WrestleMania? Sorry, again, the whole benefit of having WWE Network is that I'm only paying $10 a month and I get WrestleMania. So I'm not entirely enthused about that. Hopefully, if they do plan something, maybe it won't be done for this year's Mania, it'll be done for next year's Mania. That's in Los Angeles. But, again, we'll see how that all turns out. See you all next time. Hey guys, remember to check out my Patreon at patreon.com/SleepyTimeForCat Productions, where you can help me expand my wrestling coverage to stuff beyond WWE, NXT, and the occasional AEW free show.